We do all that, and also we have to know our knowledge of the bingo industry, and we win accordingly.
OK, so you have to call a bingo game. Now, tell me, I mean, is it true that you no longer do the legs 11, keys of the door, two fat ladies, all that? You just read the numbers out, do you?
Not allowed anymore now. He's moved on since those days now. He's joined the 21st century.
I see.
Yeah.
Well, why don't you do that? I mean, don't people like that? Was that the way once, or is that just something
Well, I think it's a question of... there's a lot of money to be won now. The prizes are much higher than they were several years ago. And if you can imagine two little ducks quack, quack, or legs 11, and somebody whistling, and somebody's calling house at the same time, and the caller misses it, you miss out on 15 grand. It's
serious business.
Serious business.
Well, listen, best of luck today. Maybe you can call the scores out as we get through the game. Let me tell you how it's going to go. Every day there's £1,000 worth of cash up for grabs for our challengers. However, if they fail to defeat the Eggheads, the prize money rolls over to the next show. So, bingo callers of the year, the Eggheads have won the last 7 games, which means £8,000 says you can't beat the Eggheads. Not bad for a game of bingo, is it? It'd be a decent pot, wouldn't it? The first head-to-head battle will be on the subject of entertainment. How appropriate. Who'd like to play this?
OK.
You say it was in entertainment.
There was a brighter spark there than would they, eh?
Who was it?
I think I'd like to do entertainment.
You want to do it,
myself.
Steve?
Yeah, I think.
OK, that's one half of it. What egghead do you want to play?
I think I will pick Kevin.
Kevin?
OK.
Then, yeah.
Kevin.
OK, good stuff. Let's have Steve and Kevin into the question room then, just to make sure you can't confer with your teammates. Would you like to go first or second, Steve?
I'd like to go first.
Good luck. Entertainment, off we go. In 1985, which band opened the Live Aid concert at Wembley? Status Quo, the Beach Boys or Pink Floyd?
Actually, I was so looking forward to Live Aid, and I'm pretty sure it wasn't the Beach Boys. I'm almost certain it wasn't Pink Floyd. So I definitely think it was Status Quo.
It was the Quo. That's the right answer. Status Quo. Live Aid. OK, your question, Kevin. The song The Bare Necessities comes from which musical film? South Pacific, The Jungle Book or Bugsy Malone?
One of the best Disney films, The Jungle Book.
Yeah, one of the best songs, isn't it? It's the right answer. Steve, second question. Margaret Mountford and Nick Hewer regularly appear in which 2007 TV reality show? Wife Swap, The Apprentice or Dragon's Den?
Well, I know it's definitely not Wife Swap, and I'm not too sure about the other two. I'm torn with the Dragon's Den. I think I'll go with the Dragon's Den.
OK. They are quite scary, but they are the associates of Sir Alan Sugar in The Apprentice. The Apprentice is the answer there. Kevin, the actress born Diana Fluck became better known by which name? Diana Quick, Diana Rigg or Diana Dawes?
Yes, one of Swindon's greatest exports, Diana Dawes.
Diana Dawes it is. That's correct, Kevin, which means, Steve, you've got to get this. Who played the part of Bottom in Max Reinhardt's 1935 film version of Shakespeare's A Midsummer Night's Dream? James Cagney, George Raft or Edward G. Robinson?
Well, I certainly don't think it was James Cagney. He's more well known for his gangster movies, and I'm pretty sure it's not George Raft. I'm leaning towards Edward G. Robinson.
Edward G. Of course, all pretty well known for the gangster movies, aren't they? Looking down that list. It's Jimmy Cagney. Oh. Jimmy Cagney played Bottom, believe it or not, in Shakespeare's A Midsummer Night's Dream. So there we are. Kevin's got the 2 correct. He doesn't need to face another question. You got the 2 wrong. I'm sorry, Steve, but it's farewell. You won't be playing in the final round. Would you both please come back and join your teams? Well, a lot of associations coming up from that round. Peter, Diana Dawes, we were talking about the names for the calls in bingo. Diana Dawes is a number, isn't it? Or was
That's
a
right,
number?
it was a number years ago. All the fours, Diana Dawes. And I'll let you figure out why it was that yourself.
It's the way you say them. It's a pity they've gone, Peter. OK, well, there we go. As it stands now, the bingo callers have lost 1 brain from the final round. The Eggheads haven't lost any, but we've only played 1 round. So let's get on with our second today, and this subject is geography. Who'd like to play this?
Who did we say for...
Well,
I think it was...
yes, me.
Peter.
You said it was going to be me.
Yeah, definitely
Geography
Peter.
Come up.
OK, Peter, and who would you like to play from the Eggheads? It can't be Kevin, one of the other four.
Daphne, I think.
Lucky Daphne. OK, could I ask you, please, both to go to the question room? So, Peter, you were Bingo Caller of the Year in 2002, and before that, I believe, I mean, it was only relatively recently before that you took it up.
Yes, I came back from living abroad in Mexico, and I came back to see what the climate was here in show business terms. And I took the job as a fill-in, and I won it within 6 months of actually taking up calling.
And before that, you've had a career treading the boards. I mean, you can trump our Chris with your thespian credentials.
Well, 17 years aboard the cruise ships as a featured entertainer. And my piece de resistance, I suppose, was 1988 and 1989. I had the good fortune to be in London's production in Her Majesty's of Phantom of the Opera.
Oh, marvellous stuff. And you're mentioning all those cruise ships. I take it you've seen a few ports, got around a bit, and you're playing geography. Let's hope it stands you in good stead. Peter, would you like to go first or second?
Second.
Letting Daphne kick off then. Here you go. Daphne, which county lies between Norfolk and Essex? Kent, Hertfordshire or Suffolk?
That would be Suffolk. I ought to know because my daughter lives in Norfolk.
OK, and next door to Norfolk is Suffolk. It's the right answer. Good start for Daphne. And I should tell you, before we continue, Peter, that might be a good choice choosing to play Daphne. She's lost twice out of the last 3 times she's played this.
Have I?
Including the last time you played.
Yes.
That's just to build your confidence up a bit there, Daphne. Now, Peter.
Thank you.
Peter, your first question. Poland has a coastline on which body of water? The Baltic Sea, the Black Sea or the Caspian Sea? Did you ever dock there on the cruise ships?
No, I was the other side of the world. I did a lot in the Caribbean, South America, Alaska. But I do believe Poland is the Black Sea.
OK. Poland has a coastline on... It's the Baltic, Peter, as you say, you're on the other side of the world. The Baltic. OK, a chance for a 2-0 lead then. Daphne, Vientiane is the capital city of which country? Laos, Belarus or Sri Lanka?
Sorry. Right, capital of Sri Lanka is Colombo. Capital of Belarus is Minsk, is it? Well, anyhow, it's Laos.
Love the way you asked me, as if I'm going to tell you Belarus. Yeah, sure, I'll help you out there. Vientiane is the capital of Laos. It's the right answer, Daphne, which means, Peter, you've got to get this. The Victoria and Albert waterfront, the Malay Quarter and Buitengracht Street are located in which African city? Cairo, Cape Town or Casablanca?
Well, the pronunciation of that brings to mind, I honestly, good Lord, I've not been to that part of the world at all, but the pronunciation of Buitengracht, it sounds South African. I think Cape Town.
OK. Going on the Buitengracht. It's right, yes, Cape Town, the Victoria and Albert waterfront and the Malay Quarter are in South Africa. You say you've widely travelled in a certain part of the world, but no questions concerning that part of the world come up yet for you, Peter. Let's see if you can keep going. You've got to hope Daphne gets this wrong, though. Which British river carries the most water? The River Tay, the River Severn or the River Trent?
I don't know. I'm going to say the Severn.
OK.
Simply because I think it's longer than the other two,
Severn.
but for no other reason.
A very big estuary.
And it's wrong.
It is wrong. It's the Tay. I feel mean now saying I hope you got that wrong, because I always say that because I think you're going to, you know... Well, because you get so many right, Daphne, but that's good. It's good for the game. Peter, chance to take us into sudden death. Which US state is nicknamed the Sooner State? Alabama, West Virginia or Oklahoma?
The Sooner State, if my memory serves me right, I've sung this song many times. Oklahoma. I do believe it's Oklahoma.
Right, now we're on your territory. It's the right answer. Yes, well done. Not, of course, coming from your travelling days, coming from your hoofing days. There we are. Oklahoma is correct, takes us into sudden death. Which means, Peter, just to remind you, I know you know the way it works, but we remove the multiple choice element now, so it gets an awful lot harder. Hopefully for Daphne. Daphne, it's your first sudden death question. In which ocean are the Azores located?
They are in the Atlantic.
Again, that's heading out Peter's way on his cruise ships. It's the right answer. The Azores are in the Atlantic. OK, then, Peter, you've got to get this, as you know. Port Moresby is the capital of which Pacific island country which became an independent state within the Commonwealth in 1975?
Well, I have to have a stab in the dark. I do not know. I'm going to go 1975. The Solomon Islands.
Solomon Islands, OK. It's not the right answer, Peter. I just checked with Daphne. You could easily have put her in second. An awful lot of our challengers do. Would you have got this one, Daphne?
Papua New Guinea.
Papua New Guinea, Peter. Papua New Guinea. But you got it incorrect. It's not the Solomon Islands, which means Daphne's through to the final round. Peter, we won't be having you there. That wonderful timbre voice there. Snippet of Oklahoma to go with that round as well. Would you both please come back and join your teams? Well, bingo callers, 2-0 to the Eggheads so far. You can even that up. 2 rounds to play before the final round, 2 head-to-heads. This next one is sport. Who wants to play this one?
Right.
Brett, Mandy or Patrick?
Let Brett go with it.
I'll go with
think
it,
Brett
and I'll take
Yeah.
it, and then we'll leave Patrick and
Just
yourself
hope
for the last one.
Okay.
And
Yeah.
hopefully I'll do all right, you know?
Yeah.
Yes.
I think it's going to be me,
Of course
damn
you'll
it.
do all right.
OK, Brett, and who would you like to play from the Eggheads? Kevin and Daphne have played, so Chris, CJ or Judith?
Judith, yeah?
Judith.
I think, should we?
CJ always says he's not going to talk, but he gets things right. So
Okay.
if he gets a
I don't
tennis one, he's
believe
won.
this nodding of the head.
No.
CJ's doing anyway. He's trying to...
Go with
They
Judith.
lie,
Judith,
they
yeah.
lie.
Yeah.
Should we go with Judith? Judith, please.
OK, of course, Brett. Let's have you both into the question room then, please. Brett, would you like to go first or second?
I think I'll go first, please.
OK, it's sport. This is your question then, Brett. Good luck. In which country would you find the motor racing track called the Circuit de Catalunya? Italy, France or Spain?
Right, Italy, France or Spain? Catalonia.
Catalunya.
France, I wouldn't say it was France. Circuit de Catalunya. It's either Italy or Spain. And I think I'll go for Italy, please.
OK, Italy. A bit of a geography question there, really. Catalonia is in Spain. Spain. So, a slip up there. Well, see how Judith does. She blows hot and cold in sport. Sometimes she's very, very good, and sometimes she's, quite frankly, not very good. I was going to say awful, Judith, but you'd be very cross if I did. So here you go. How'd you do with this? It's football. Bramall Lane is the home ground of which football team? Notts County, Sheffield United or Bristol City?
Bramall Lane.
Bramall Lane.
B-R-A-M-E-L-L.
No, B-R-A-M-A-L-L.
Bramall Lane.
Bramall Lane.
What does that sound like? Bramall Lane. I think, oh Lordy, I absolutely do not know. I think it might be Sheffield United.
OK, Sheffield United. How do you do it? It's the right answer, yes. Sheffield
I
United.
do read these things. They're in my subconscious somewhere.
That's
They
right.
just,
OK.
it's just luck if they come out.
Right, well, yeah, lucky for you, unlucky for Brett. Let's get you off the mic then, Brett. The Pumas is the nickname of which international rugby union team? Argentina, Australia or South Africa?
Well, I know the South Africans, I believe, is the Springboks. Australia, Wallabies. So, process of elimination, I'm going to stab at Argentina, please.
Argentina, the Pumas. Yes, much better. There we go. 1 to you. OK. Got to cross your fingers, Brett. Hope Judith gets one of the next two wrong. Judith, which game is normally ruled over by a pair of umpires? Rugby league, hockey or darts?
I think darts could do with just one, frankly. I would think that it would be a bit crowded if there were more than two on a hockey. Oh no, I was thinking of ice hockey. A pair. What's this? I think it's probably hockey, actually. I think it's the least complicated of the games.
OK. Unlike your reasoning, which is pretty complicated. Yeah, it is the right answer. Somehow, yes, a pair of umpires adjudicate hockey matches. OK. Means you've got to get this then, Brett. In cricketing slang, a score of 111 runs is sometimes referred to as a what? Churchill, Shakespeare or Nelson?
I'm just going by the names here, Dermot. I'm thinking 111 and eyes for some reason. So obviously Churchill and Shakespeare both had a pair of eyes. I believe Nelson just had the one. So I'm just going to go for Nelson. It's a stab in the dark.
OK, Nelson. You're on to it, Brett. That's the right answer. And more or less the right reason from the mistaken belief that Nelson had one eye, one arm, one leg. But Judith can win it if she gets this. Which Welsh boxer who fought Joe Louis in the 1930s was known as the Tony Pandy Terror? Tommy Farr, Howard Winston or Jimmy Wilde?
I'm just looking to see if there's any sort of Welsh giveaway there. And there isn't. What sounds Welsh? I think Tommy Farr sounds a bit Welsher than the others. For no particular reason.
Is that your answer?
Yes.
Tommy Farr. I think you've used up your luck for the entire series, Judith. It's the right answer. Tommy Farr, the Tony Pandy Terror. I apologise on her behalf, Brett. I mean, 3 guesses there. Well, one was slightly informed. Bad luck, Brett. Means you won't be playing in the final round. Would you come back and join your teams, the two of you? So, bingo callers of the year, you've now lost 3 brains from the final round. The Eggheads are all still there, and let the nation be warned about Judith and sport. Any of those who think she's an easy touch, your statistics now, Judith, over the last 16 games you've played of sport, you've won 13 of them.
Have I?
It's a good record.
Be warned.
Be afraid, be very afraid. OK, let's play our last head-to-head before the final round. It is arts and books. Who'd like to play this? Mandy or Patrick?
It'd have to be me.
It'd have to be, because I just
I'm
wouldn't have a
rubbish.
clue.
Go, me.
Toss of a coin, we're going to say Mandy.
OK, Mandy, who would you like to play from the Eggheads? CJ remains, and Chris?
CJ.
Yeah, I don't
Yep,
want to,
CJ,
yeah.
please.
CJ, OK, let's have Mandy and CJ into the question room then, please. Mandy, would you like to go first or second?
I think we'll stick with first, please.
OK, arts and books. Off you go then, Mandy. Good luck. Run for Your Wife is a theatrical farce by which British playwright? Ray Cooney, John Osborne or Joe Orton?
Plays Ron Cooney, John Osborne. Joe Orton seems...
It's Ray Cooney, John Osborne or Joe Orton.
Right. I don't think it's John Osborne. I'm not very up on plays, but I think I'm going to just go for, fingers crossed, Joe Orton. Joe Orton.
Joe Orton, OK. Run for Your Wife. It's not Joe Orton. It wasn't John Osborne, it's Ray Cooney.
Oh, well.
It's a Ray Cooney farce. OK, CJ, first question to you. In the ballet terms pas de basque and pas de cheval, what does the word pas literally mean? Spin, lift or step?
Well, the French phrase faux pas means false step, and as I know faux means false, I'll go for that pas means step.
OK. Yeah, pas means step. It's the right answer, CJ. Right, come on, Mandy. Let's get you moving with this one. Which 1965 book by Frank Herbert is the world's best-selling science fiction novel? 2001: A Space Odyssey, Battlefield Earth or Dune?
Right. I need to get this right, else we're in trouble. 2001: A Space Odyssey is what I thought it was straight away. Whether it's right or not is another matter. I would go with Space Odyssey.
OK, 2001: A Space Odyssey by Frank Herbert. It's not. It's June. June is the world's best-selling science fiction novel. Didn't know that.
Not read it.
But CJ has a chance to wrap the round up if he gets this. If Nobody Speaks of Remarkable Things is an award-winning 2002 book by which writer? Mark Haddon, Jan Martel or John McGregor?
Well, Haddon really only came to prominence with The Curious Incident of the Dog in the Night Time. Jan Martel's most famous work is The Life of Pi. However, dear Mr. McGregor, I don't know him, so he's the one I'm going to go for.
John McGregor is correct, CJ. You're through to the final round. Bad luck, Mandy, just never got started.
I've done with a ballet question.
Oh, dear. Did you do a bit of ballet in your time?
I did. I've been known to. Polisher.
Oh, very good. Well, unfortunately, that question went to CJ. It means you won't be playing in the final round. Would you both please come back and join your teams? Well, this is what we've been playing towards. It's time for the final round, which, as always, is general knowledge. But I'm afraid those of you who lost your head-to-heads won't be allowed to take part in this round. So Brett, Mandy, Peter and Steve, all from the Bingo Callers of the Year, would you leave the studio, please? So, Patrick, you're playing to win the Bingo Callers of the Year, £8,000. Judith, Kevin, CJ, Daphne and Chris, you're playing for something which money can't buy, the Eggheads' reputation. As usual, I'll ask each team 3 questions in turn. This time the questions are all general knowledge, Patrick, just to confirm that. And Eggheads, you are allowed to confer. Patrick, the question is your 1 brain better than the Eggheads' 5? And Patrick, would you like to go first or second?
I'll try first.
Finish first, we hope as well, Patrick. £8,000 could await you at the end of this. Let's see how you do. It's general knowledge, as I said. Good luck. Patrick, in which year was Princess Anne given the title the Princess Royal? 1967, 1977 or 1987? In which year was Princess Anne given the title the Princess Royal?
Well, I think 1967 was the year Prince Charles was made Prince of Wales. 87, I think, is a bit late. I'm going to go down the middle and say 77.
Down the middle, 77. It was Silver Jubilee year as well, wasn't it? It's not 77, it is 87. Princess Anne was given the title the Princess Royal, 1987. OK, well, Egghead's chance for the lead. Your first question. Which former Radio 1 breakfast DJ was nicknamed the Hairy Cornflake? Simon Mayo, Mike Reed or Dave Lee Travis? Which former Radio 1 breakfast DJ was nicknamed the Hairy Cornflake?
That was Dave Lee Travis, Dermot. We're all in agreement.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He had the mutton chops, didn't
Well, if I grew a beard, maybe, yeah.
DLT, the Hairy Cornflake, it's correct, Eggheads. So, over to you, Patrick. Better luck with this one. In Scotland, a jury in a criminal trial has how many members? 9, 15 or 18? In Scotland, a jury in a criminal trial has how many members?
18 sounds quite a lot of people to me. And I think you get too many situations whereby there's too many one side and the other side. 15.
15, straight down the middle again. But this time it's right. Well done, Patrick. There we go. OK, Eggheads. The National Trust head office building in Swindon is named after the married name of which author? Beatrix Potter, Virginia Woolf or Iris Murdoch? The National Trust head office building in Swindon is named after the married name of which author?
It's Beatrix Potter. It's called Helis.
And she's one of the first donors.
Yeah, right. I'm reliably informed it's named after Helis, which is the married name of Beatrix Potter.
So that's your answer, Beatrix Potter.
Potter, yeah.
It is correct, Eggheads. Helis, that's...
Yeah,
she married, she lived in the Lake District and she married a solicitor named William Helis. And she was one of the big early donors of a lot of land to and supporters of the National Trust.
I see, there's the link. And so is it Helis House then in Swindon?
Just called Helis.
Just Helis.
Straight, yeah.
OK, well, the answer is Beatrix Potter, which the Eggheads correctly gave me, which means, as you know, Patrick, you've got to get this to keep your chances going. The flag of which Mediterranean island incorporates a 3-legged motif similar to that of the Isle of Man? Malta, Sicily or Crete? The flag of which Mediterranean island incorporates a 3-legged motif similar to that of the Isle of Man?
I wouldn't have thought it'd be Crete because Crete is part of a Greek nation, so I don't have a flag of their own anyway. Malta, I don't think so. For no real apparent reason, I think I'm going to go again with the middle one, Sicily.
OK, middle again. But on your Crete reasoning, Sicily is, of course, part of Italy. But it's the right answer. So, sorry to tease you there, but yeah, it's the right answer. Doesn't matter how you get them. Now you've done your bit, Patrick. You've just got to hope the Eggheads get this wrong and we'll go to sudden death. But to win it, Eggheads, which country signed the Treaty of Windsor in 1386 and is often referred to as England's oldest ally? The United States, Denmark or Portugal? Which country signed the Treaty of Windsor in 1386 and is often referred to as England's oldest ally?
Well, America hadn't even been discovered in 1386, let alone been named the United States.
Now, you might say that.
All right, the Vikings had been there. Leif Erikson had found it in about 1000 AD, but there was no United States. We didn't sign treaties with Denmark in those days, but England's oldest ally and supplier of port, wine, etc., is Portugal.
You think Portugal signed the Treaty of Windsor in 1386? It is the right answer, Eggheads. You've won. Well, bad luck, Patrick. Really pulled your socks up after that slip-up on the first one and gave the Eggheads a fight for the money, but not to be. But thanks very much for playing Eggheads today, and thanks to all the bingo callers of the year lined up behind you there. We've learnt an awful lot about bingo today. We must get down there. What a night out, Eggheads. Come on, win some money, stick in the pot. But the Eggheads have done what comes naturally to them. Their winning streak continues. I'm afraid you won't be going home with the £8,000, which means, of course, the money rolls over to our next show. Eggheads, congratulations. Can anyone beat you? Join us next time to see if the new challengers have the brains to defeat the Eggheads. £9,000 says they don't. Until then, goodbye.
Ben Fogle fulfills a childhood ambition. Extreme Dreams is next here on BBC Two. Then a transatlantic